Hey, we're here at Movieclips, and we're talking about our top 5 most anticipated movies of 2014 in no particular order.
First up, we have X-Men: Days of Future Past, directed by Bryan Singer. I'm really excited for this movie.
Yeah, it's if the movie, even if the movie stinks, it's a feat just of agents scheduling actors together.
Yeah.
We have every X-Man who's ever been in an X-Men movie. So this is possibly the largest conglomeration of superhero stars ever put together. And also, you said Bryan Singer from the first 2 X-Men movies, widely considered the best of the X-Men movies, is back directing, which is really, really exciting.
But it's based off the comic that from the 80s in which Kitty Pryde is sent back in time to stop an assassination. But this time it's Wolverine because he's more popular.
Also, this is one, X-Men Days of Futures Past is written by Chris Claremont in the 80s, like you said, and it's kind of known as one of the kind of seminal X-Men stories. When people think of like what are the best X-Men stories ever told in the comics, Days of Future Past is always one of the first things to come up. So it's really exciting to see that finally come to the screen.
Next on our list is The Amazing Spider-Man 2. This is Mark Webb, fitfully named, and he's returning to direct the second one. What did you guys think of the first one? Were you guys fans of that
liked the first one.
I was a huge fan.
It felt a little unnecessary to show Uncle Ben dying again.
Yeah.
But I really like Andrew Garfield as an actor. I really like the world, sort of modernization that Mark Webb is doing, and I love the trailer for The Amazing Spider-Man 2 that recently came out about a month ago.
I'm over the moon about the trailer. I thought the first one, in a world where we're supposed to pretend that the first 3 Spider-Man movies don't exist, and with the third one, I've already been doing that for years. So I think that it was a really, really good Spider-Man movie. There were problems with villains and stuff like that, but it was absolutely had great moments enough for me to be super excited about this film.
And Jamie Foxx as Electro is probably one of the most exciting aspects about this. And we looked at the trailer and we counted a lot of villains going on.
Yeah, we got the Rhino, Electro, we have implications of Dr. Octopus and the Vulture.
Straight up, and Green Goblin, like straight up seen.
Oh yeah, the Green Goblin, that was like sort of a secret for a while, and now we see pictures.
So sort of gearing towards the Sinister Six. So this is going to become, such a bigger part of, what Sony owns of the Marvel pie.
So next up, moving on with Marvel Phase 2 this year, we have Guardians of the Galaxy directed by James Gunn. Which is, the coolest thing about this is that it's directed by James Gunn. He's been kind of this weird indie filmmaker. He made movies like Slither and Super, like really strange, kind of oddly toned movies. And from the post-credit sequence that we saw after Thor: The Dark World, I believe, this movie feels already different from every other Marvel movie in the universe. It has a different look, a different feel.
And we have a raccoon named Rocket Raccoon, voiced by Brad Cooper, who's supposed to be like the breakout character for this movie. And I've also read in a lot of interviews it's going to be like on par with the, Star Wars style, like lasers and photons, and everything's just going to be super sci-fi.
Yeah. Like a space opera kind of thing.
That's really cool. I've only just started reading the Guardians of the Galaxy comics, but I mean, there's a lot of new characters to get introduced to because I don't think a lot of people know about these. James Gunn is a little worrisome to me just because of some of the films you have mentioned.
I haven't liked a lot of his movies, but the prospect of him directing this makes me really excited.
All right, next up we have Godzilla. This is Bryan Cranston is in this movie, and Aaron Taylor Johnson, I believe, from Kick-Ass.
And Ken Watanabe.
The cast, I love, and I thought the trailer was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
The visuals that he puts forth in the trailer, from like the jumpers coming out into the clouds and just like how we see Godzilla and all of the aesthetics of, like bunkers. I mean, it's a movie about a giant monster. There's going to be a military presence. Everything about this movie excites me, especially his presence, and Elizabeth Olsen.
Especially after Pacific Rim and seeing the way monsters fight in cities and the way that, I guess since the 1950s, we don't have puppets anymore. Even though I do love that aesthetic, I think the way visual effects have transformed over the years, like, this could be the best Godzilla movie ever. If anyone's seen Matthew Broderick's Godzilla, the visual effects were pretty low.
Because we finally are at the point where technology can handle that kind of story, and they've already hinted that there may be the presence of more than one kaiju in this.
Oh yeah, there could be a Mothra, there could be something.
Yeah, and if that's the case, put it to more than my #1 most anticipated movie of 2014. It's of all time.
Finally, we have Christopher Nolan's Interstellar. Now, he's had free reign for a while now to do whatever he wants. A big budget blockbuster. Last time, he cooked up Inception. which I thought was phenomenal. I thought that was the best blockbuster in years.
That's when he was doing his like favor movie.
Yeah.
Where they were like, we'll let you make this one.
Yeah, I'm a huge, I guess, fanboy for Christopher Nolan. Prestige, Memento, Inception, The Dark Knight movies.
And lastly, the Batman movie.
I mean, there's just stuff that he and his brother write, I think, are amazing, and I'm pretty sure his brother John helped him with this one as far as the writing.
Yeah.
Well, Jonathan Nolan originally wrote this for Steven Spielberg, who has been developing this story, which is based on the theories of black holes, which really means it's based on nothing. He wrote it for Steven Spielberg, who's been developing it for like a decade, and then Christopher Nolan took it and was like, I gotta, rewrite this in my own style, so, there's gonna be a dead woman in it and no humor, and it's gonna be really, really long. Yeah, so, I mean, it's a big year for movies. We're excited about these, but you're probably excited about different ones, so comment below. Let us know what you think of these movies and all the others that are coming out in 2014.
And check out our other video where we talk about 2014, a year in preview, where we're going to preview and talk about the other movies like Maleficent, RoboCop, Edge of Tomorrow, 22 Jump Street, maybe other big movies that are like really going to be cool. Till next time, I'm David.
JS.
And I'm Ryan. Thank you for watching.